Hello and welcome back to the Chatline Podcast. I'm Emily.
I'm Missy.
And we're the in-law duo you didn't know you needed. We're going to get right into it.
So you are from the great state of Tennessee. And
Yes.
you all have, would you say that you lost an icon? What would you say about Miss
I would
Dolly?
say our icon is hurt. Dolly is the icon.
Right. Well, that's what I thought. But then I was like, I didn't know because you're from that region if you all feel
Yes.
differently about
Yeah.
Dolly's husband.
No, I mean, I don't know a ton about him, to be honest.
Right.
But I know that, their marriage has been a super sweet thing from what I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm from Knoxville, so Sevierville, where Dolly is from, is very, very close, and she always does, a lot of things to really include the community. And I don't know if you know this about her or not. She has an honorary doctorate's degree from Carson Newman University.
I did not know that.
Yeah, my alma mater.
Wow.
That's how you say it. Alma.
You
maybe.
know what?
I don't know.
I was just going to let it pass.
Alma.
I have no idea. The college that you went to.
I went there,
graduated
yeah.
from. Yep. No,
Yeah.
I did not know that. And in fact, when you started talking about that, I thought you were going to say from Tennessee, like the UT, University of Tennessee. So, wow. That
She
is close to
might.
come.
She
Yeah,
might
she
also have one
probably
from there.
does. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Wow.
yeah, her imagination library, and I don't know if that is a nationwide
It
thing.
is nationwide.
It is
Yes.
nationwide? Yeah.
Yes.
So, that's crazy. If you don't know about it, Imagination Library is like everyone under the age of 10 or 8 or something like that. Every child gets like a book a month from her.
So sweet.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
she is the best.
Yeah,
She is
and-
the best.
And she really did stimulate that economy. Like there would be no Pigeon
Yes.
Forge without Dolly Parton, in my opinion.
You're probably right. Yeah.
I don't know about
Dolly would.
Gatlinburg. I mean, I don't know, but
Yeah.
wasn't it like a silver dollar something or another, and then she revitalized it? Is that right?
Yeah. It was Silver Dollar City. And I think there are several Silver Dollar cities. Like I think it was like a chain like Six
Okay.
Flags.
Oh, okay.
But it was older. And Dolly, I don't think she owns Dollywood, but she is like partnered with them, like her image and her story and her, I think she's very involved with it.
Mhm.
But yeah, but they've opened up so many things. Like there's Dollywood, of course. There's the Dollywood Dream Resort. There's, and she puts on these great concerts too, like not just herself performing, but like one of like my family's favorite bands for King and Country, a Christian artist. Like she does this like Rock the Smokies Christian like giant thing that you buy your ticket to Dollywood and you get to see all these bands. It's really cool.
Wow.
Really cool that she does that. But yeah, there's like Dolly Parton's Stampede that they have that she's a part of, and she's like, does all this kind of stuff with. So there's like, it's not just Dollywood. She's got like other attractions too in Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg.
Yeah, you were talking about how you didn't know him much. I had never even seen a picture of him, and I didn't know there was pictures of him out there. Like I thought they intentionally did not show you who he was so that he could have that. Well, I've lost that word. Yes, that word.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then I've also wondered if Miss Dolly ever went incognito, like, if she took off the wig and like whatever and just could walk around with him and nobody would ever know it was her.
There is this lady, and my mom has said this before. I think she's called the Chicken Lady at Dollywood, that she looks exactly like Dolly, but not with her hair and makeup. Every so often she'll be out there outside of like this, like where you can buy like the big turkey leg and it's like kind of a courtyard. But she'll be out there like welcoming guests in, like just dancing and having fun, just kind of like that personality. And she looks exactly like Dolly. So I don't know. I personally think that the Chicken Lady is Dolly in disguise. But
yeah, how sweet would that be?
Yeah.
Like for real. And I could see, listen, I've never met her, but I could see that, like the way that she seems to be. I could see her doing something like that.
Yeah.
So there was this one lady, and do not judge me, people, for watching this show. I had one channel back in the day with little kids, right? And so I ended up watching TBN sometimes, and the Trinity broadcast. I don't even know if it's still around, right?
Yeah.
No, it was just something in the background. And there was
like
this
the 700 network.
Yeah, I didn't watch that, but yeah, it was all that kind of stuff. Anyway, there was this one lady on there, and I never watched her, but I would like see her on advertisements and stuff of where she had either purple or pink hair. I can't remember. her makeup was ridiculous. Like, I mean, it was like, what are you trying to do?
Right.
And it dawned on me. I thought, she does that so that she can take all of that off and go wherever she wants, you know, and nobody knows who she is. And I might be completely wrong. I don't even remember what the lady's name was. But I thought, if ever you wanted to be famous, but then not, that would be the way to do it.
Yeah, like a Hannah Montana style. Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's something crazy, because last episode, we talked about all of like the connections. Well, Dolly Parton is Miley Cyrus, who played Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus's godmother. Did you know that?
Right. I forgot. Like, I wouldn't have won that question on Jeopardy, but I do remember it now that you said that.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. Okay. Dolly is fantastic, and I love her stuff. Have you heard her song that she wrote in tribute to her husband?
Gave me chills.
Oh my God.
Yes, gave me chills.
Yeah.
So good. Do you think she recorded that after he passed? It almost feels like it.
I think it does, because I think she did, because you hear like the breaking in her voice and like the tears.
Yes.
And I mean, she is such a phenomenal artist. I would not be surprised if she was like sat down. I mean, it's a huge emotional thing. I would not be surprised if she sat down and was able to do that. You know what I mean? Kind of a form of therapy. Yeah.
I thought that same thing. And then I've heard that she has a song that she wrote for when she passes, that she's like, oh, I know it's a #1 hit, no doubt. And she's like saving it like for legacy. I don't think it's about her. I just think she knows. Yeah, I know. It's good stuff. And people are like, well, go ahead and release it. She's like, no, it's for, wow.
Yeah, she is amazing. And all of her quotes that she's like got, I think, are fantastic. Like, I love when she says, no, dumb blonde jokes don't bother me, because I know I'm not dumb. I know I'm also not blonde.
Yeah, she's so bad. Yeah. She's so funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jethro's being a little crazy.
Jethro is?
Yeah.
Somebody's at the door. I love Jethro. I got to see him this weekend. It had been too long since I had seen Jethro.
Yeah, you can go a while without seeing him. He's a little crazy.
Hey,
good night, Jethro. Good night.
You'll have to show people Jethro sometime. He's such a cutie.
Oh, we should. Yeah. We'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
But,
sure.
Oh, there was something we were listening, Wesley, because I didn't know she released a song about his passing. And I had briefly seen that he had passed, but I didn't know, because sometimes like you're on Facebook and it's like, guess who died? And it's like, clickbait or whatever.
Yeah.
I did not realize it was true, but we were listening to it last night, and it was just like heart-wrenching, but also I didn't realize that she had struggled with infertility. I didn't know that it was like why they couldn't have kids.
I did not realize that either, but I had seen, have you ever seen that reality show Claim to Fame, where you try to guess?
No.
So it's people that are like, well, like her.
Yes, yeah. I have seen this. Yeah.
Okay. So like, did you see the one where I think it was her niece, Arla, was on there?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. And she had to like change her name. Like, she went by say Betty. That wasn't what it was. But I mean, because if she'd went by Starla,
right, they'd be like,
yeah. And so at the end, when people kind of find out what your claim to fame is, that, you are the niece of Dolly Parton, she just went on and on about how she was like so instrumental in her life and all of that.
Yeah.
And that makes a little more sense. Like, if she struggled with infertility, like why Starla would have been such a big part of her life.
Yeah. Yeah. But okay, so right after we listened to her tribute for her husband, Wesley did not know, and I don't know if you know this or not. Did you know that she wrote "I Will Always Love You"?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Wesley was very shocked.
Where have you been? Love you, but where have you been?
Yeah.
So she tells this story that Kevin Costner, have you heard this story? Called her up. Okay. So when they were on the set of Bodyguard, or right beforehand, like Kevin Costner called Dolly up and said, hey, do you mind if Whitney sings this song? I Will Always Love You. And Dolly was like, no, I don't mind. She said that's the last she heard of it. And, next thing she knows, it was on the radio and all this. And she, and people afterwards were like, were you so, upset or jealous or whatever? She's like, honey, I was cashing them checks all the way to the bank. I didn't mind at all. I love it. Yeah. I love how she really and truly just kind of had that mindset of, just because someone else is famous doesn't take it away from me.
Well, she wouldn't sell it to Elvis. She wouldn't let Elvis do it.
Well,
yeah.
So she had some sense.
Yep. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was like a money thing, like a producer. She wouldn't get the credit. She wouldn't get the rights to it or whatever. I think Elvis and his management company wanted to buy the rights, but I could be wrong. But also, Elvis is married to his 13-year-old cousin, so maybe he shouldn't be singing the, love song of the century. Did you know that?
What do you mean?
You didn't know that? Priscilla?
Well, Priscilla's his cousin?
Huh? And she was 13 when they got married?
What is it with him and that great balls of fire dude, Julie Lewis, right?
Yes.
Like, what the heck?
Yeah. Stay away from your cousin.
Stay away from
okay, listen. Now that you've mentioned somebody else.
13.
Yes. That one too. That one too. Yeah, I think that one's kind of a given. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, so I know you were going on a different tangent, and I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But I just heard a podcast the other day from Candace Owens that I normally don't listen to, but she got talking about all that Bridget, is it Bardot? The French president and his wife. Oh my word, I've lost the last name. Is it Bardot?
I think it starts with an I don't know.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy stuff.
He was 14. Okay, set aside that they were either born male or female. Okay, put that to the side. That's not even what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the fact, and they admit to this, that he was 14 years old in the teacher's drama class in school. Him, her, whoever, the now wife, was the teacher. And that is how they first met, and have tried to play it out in the papers. Yes, girl. Have tried to play it out in the papers like this was just a romantic love story and they couldn't say no. And, they didn't get married till many years later. But the fact of the matter is that he was 14 years old.
No, I don't care. That is ridiculous. And
now I'm going to have to look up the name because now
Okay, now that you've brought this up, and we were talking about Dolly Parton and Miley Cyrus's dad, Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah.
Him and Miley's mom
break my heart, my achy, breaky heart. What did Billy Ray do?
It's about to be broken. Have you seen Billy Ray recently? Billy Ray is not living his best life.
No, I wasn't even into him when he was doing that because of the mullet and all. It just was not my particular thing. What's going on with him?
Okay, so he played the inauguration, I'm pretty sure. I almost said the coronation.
I know. It feels like it. Yeah.
The inauguration. And he was obviously not doing well, yelling at everybody.
You were dead on. Their name is Macron.
Macron?
Yeah, I have no idea why I said Bardot. Yeah, sorry, you were right on. Macrons. Yeah, that is a really sad, horrible thing to look up. But anyway, okay, go ahead. Billy Ray.
Well, so Billy Ray, he's not doing well right now. He's on some hard substances. He's everyone is please get help. But he recently, and by recently I mean past 5 years or so, divorced Miley's mom. I don't know her name. She got remarried, and there was some drama with their siblings, Noah Cyrus, Miley Cyrus, and whoever the brother is.
Okay.
Miley was the only one that was at their wedding, and she was there as a bridesmaid with her mom.
Okay.
And the other two, did not even attend the wedding. So there's that with the mom. But Billy Ray, during that time, started dating this girl, and I forget her name. I want to say it's Fire something, to be honest. I want to say it's Fire Rose. I know it's not, though.
To look it up? Or
yeah. Yeah, because I think it is. She, where he met her?
Mm-mm.
On the set of Hannah Montana.
No.
When Miley was 14, this girl was 13. And so that's who he was dating.
That it started then? Or just that he kind of knew her then?
I don't know, but I mean, I'm sorry, if I meet a 13-year-old in, 10 years from now, I'm going to be oh, wow, you've grown up so much. Yeah. So Billy Ray is not doing good right now. Not at all.
Know how to look this up, so keep going. Billy, young girlfriend.
Billy Ray, ex-girlfriend. I wouldn't even know, but I'm pretty sure it is
you are right. Fire Rose.
Fire Rose. Yeah.
She's 29 years younger than him, only 2 years older than Miley. They married in October of 2023, but divorced in August of 2024.
Yeah.
So they got married. Wow.
That's crazy. But I think he got married around the same time that his ex-wife was getting married. So I am very curious about that timeline. It seems very sus to me. But,
yeah. Wow. Okay.
Stay away from kids.
Yeah.
It's not
and
that hard.
13-year-olds are children. Can we make that clear? Yeah.
Yes.
They're children.
They're children.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Not to continue on a horrible topic, but,
No.
and I mean, I guess this kind of ties into like, your self-confidence about how you are as just a woman.
Yeah.
But this is a common experience. This is me and my friends have talked about this. I've like seen posts about this. I've seen TikToks about this.
Mm-hmm.
But on average in the United States, women, I'm going to say women, but they're really children. Women get hit on more and catcalled more and approached more when they are from ages 12 to 16 than any other point in their life. Yes. And I remember being like, 12 and having like 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds. And I thought it was so cool and so special. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Well, now that I'm like 22, like I think about like, like, oh, what if I can't imagine looking at like a 17-year-old and being like, oh, that could be, whatever.
Bless you. So, are you aware that when I was 14, how old my boyfriend was?
No. How old was he?
He was 20.
Yep. Unfortunately, that does not surprise me.
Yeah. And obviously, I wasn't like, my sisters were out and about. Like, my sister is 3 years older than me. And so, she's 17. And so, they were out cruising and all that kind of stuff and met him. And, and she like was interested in one of his friends, and they came over to the house. And I mean, he decided that I was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and you feel so cool and so special.
It's
yeah.
Interesting.
No, it is so hard to be a kid in today's day and age, but to be like a girl, it's yeah.
So I had the privilege of going down and seeing you guys this weekend and got to go to a mall. And, I've talked before that I needed some jeans and I needed some things where I could feel good about myself right now because I've been living in leggings. But this new style has really thrown me. Like, it is for a loop. And thank goodness you were there. And, you were like, yeah, this looks good. Because, sometimes something fits, but you're like, this is not how I'm used to looking. Like, this is just a complete, because we've gone from skinny jeans and the flare bottom and all of that boot cut, whatever you want to call it, which I personally think a boot cut is always in style. But
yeah, I agree.
But, what is this stuff? And, we've talked about the trends before. And like, we've talked about that. I was like, oh my goodness, there really is nautical everywhere. And we talked about the buttons, I think, when we talked about the Oscars and stuff like that. But we're talking about women and how hard it is and all this kind of stuff. This trend is killing me.
Yeah, of like the like baggy jean, wide leg jean. Yeah. It is really hard to get right, because if you don't get it right, then, because it could fit, but every different brand is cut differently. And even within that brand, same style is cut differently. You just have to try on the actual pair of jeans.
Yes.
Yeah. Because if you don't do it right, then it gives you no shape. And you just feel like, what is this? But if you do it wrong, then it's like, oh, wait, it's all in the wrong spots and this isn't right. It is. And it's so difficult, too, because I think it is a newer trend. Like, but it's stayed around since like 2023. But I don't. Yeah. Like the straight leg.
Yeah. That's true, actually, because I remember I had lost a lot of weight a couple of years ago. And we actually went to some outlet malls, and I went into Express and stuff like that. And I actually found some jeans, and they're still in my closet. And I don't know that I ever actually wore them. Like, I thought they looked cute at the time. And then I kind of lost my confidence about bringing them out, letting anybody see them. And then now they're too small. But it just, I had went with Just Mark the night before, and then, and found one pair of like khakis that I like. But I was like, no, I really need some jeans. But then the next day I was so discouraged. But anyway, thank you for helping me out. I recommend taking your daughter-in-law or your daughter or someone in their early 20s to help you find a pair of jeans for real.
It is so difficult. Yeah. Shout out to H&M for, having all of that.
Yeah. And I was telling you that I had another kind of experience with H&M. I thought they were more high priced than they are. They're amazing.
Yeah. No, I think you're so right. Like, I used to like, I used to think of Old Navy as being like a good place to go for like your basics and it not be like super expensive. But now, and I thought H&M, like being in the mall, was a more expensive place.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this has been a recent change or if they've always been like this and I've just been wrong. Old Navy is so expensive now.
I think
a normal t-shirt there is like $35.
That's crazy.
Like, yeah. And like just getting like a normal pair of leggings, their leggings at Old Navy are like $60, $70.
What?
Yeah. And it's like at that point, I'm going to spend $20 extra and get them from Lulu, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but H&M is like, you know, $9, $10 for a t-shirt. It's just what it should be.
Yeah. I mean, for the basics, for sure. Yeah. I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because your logo, you're going to be covering up the logo with something else anyway. I don't know.
Yeah.
So do you have jeans right now in your closet? Like,
I do, but I am so like particular about like what top I wear with it. And that's the hard part for me. Like if I'm going to like, I found a pair of jeans that fit, I feel good in them, but I don't know how to style them. That's the part that I'm currently learning.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how do you style your jeans? And I think part of it is like, I kind of never really learned because I went to, you know, a private school growing up, lots of uniform. Yeah.
Same.
But then like, well, I'll learn in college and, you know, this will be great. But because COVID like had happened and everything was shut down, we were in our dorm rooms a lot. So like me and my roommate were like in, you know, leggings and pajamas.
Yeah.
So I'm like, now I don't know. I've got the loungewear down. Like I know there's some loungewear or athletic wear. And like, you know, thank goodness that that's in style. But
yeah,
I don't know how to style jeans or how to style like, and cargo pants are very in right now. And I just can't do it. I don't like the way they look.
No, I have to have a fitted waist, you know, like the kind that is like the drawstring or whatever. Those have never flattered me. Like even when I was like 120 pounds way back, like that style just, does not do it for me. So yeah. And I never could wear a belt. You know how people can just put a belt on and look super cute? No, my natural waist is not my flattering point.
Interesting.
Yeah. I have to come up like almost like I have to come up higher, you know, and like do like a higher little belt. If I'm going to wear a belt, it has to be like right under the girls. You know what I mean? Like right there. I was like, how do I say this for male listeners? I don't know. But
yeah, if you're a male listener and you've like, you know, stuck through this podcast, specifically my dad and Mark.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're appreciated.
Yeah. Don't buy me a belt for Christmas.
Yep. But that's something that we talked about when we were like looking at the Oscars, like red carpet looks. I feel like I can like really do a good job of like understanding other people's body type and like what I would do differently. But when it comes to myself, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, that is interesting. And I think you have super cute style. But, you know, I don't know how long it took you to figure it out. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like...
I figured it out. I don't feel like I figured it out. Like,
no.
I've not got it yet. I'm working on it. That's literally on my vision board over here for 2025 is to figure out my style.
Well, and then the problem is you figure it out in this trend. But then I feel like this trend was so drastically different than anything I've ever worn or thought about. And I know trends come and go. But this one I'd never tried to wear in all of my life, like a baggy jean, whether it's low rise or high rise or whatever. It just the straight leg, it's just so foreign to me, like everything about it.
Now listen, I don't care what body type I have. A low rise jean is just not for me. I hate them.
Don't like it.
I hate them. No. I mean, I think it looks cute on people, but like I can't do it. I feel like I'm pulling up my pants all day. Like
Yeah. Well, and that's you have to be in a certain mood too. Like I really messed myself. Well, I felt like messed myself up was what I was going to say. But because I was in Knoxville, I was like pushing myself to do it because I was like, you guys have so many more options and stores and everything. But man, I was not feeling the best about myself. And then trying on pants did not help that at all.
Yeah. No, and that's hard. It's hard. And especially coming out of like winter into summer, that's like the worst time. Yeah.
And you know, when you're trying to lose weight, you don't want to put a lot of money into where you are now. But you
Exactly.
know it's going to take a couple of months to get where you are at least, or at least get down to the next size. So all that's frustrating too. So anyway, you had to hear a lot of the drama on Saturday about my struggle. So bad.
No. And from outside looking in, it like you took 2 pairs of jeans back there and you came out like looking perfect. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
You didn't see the others, right? I only let you see ones that I could zip up. So, and even though like Mark is amazing to shop with, he is like, he's great. He's like, he spoils me rotten. He's like, you know, he doesn't even look at price tags. You know what I mean? He's like, you need jeans. We're going to go get jeans, whatever you feel good in. Let's do this. And so if I show him something, like he's always like, you look amazing. But I need that eye that's like understanding. While I appreciate that, I need an eye to say that's the trend, or, you know, I think it could be better if we did this or that. So you do need a friend that can do that for you, I think. So.
It looks good, but it could be better. Let's do something. Yeah. Not a compliment sandwich.
Not a compliment sandwich.
Yeah.
If you have not heard that pod, you need to listen to it, because I'm against a compliment sandwich. Hey, has Wes heard that? What does Wesley think about that? Has he said? He's probably not heard it yet.
I think we talked the podcast or the compliment sandwich.
Yeah, the compliment sandwich. Yeah, if he had heard about it or talked about it.
Yeah, I don't think he really likes it. He tends to like get to the point.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And you're right. It feels fake. Like when you're like, thank you so much for doing this, but I have this issue, but thank you again. You know, it's just, it wastes everybody's time.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. But, well, it's talking about, you know, doing jeans. I think it's really hard to do too. If you're like, I've got to go to this mall, I got to go to this store, but there's going to be so many people there. I'm already drained. I don't want to have to then watch my mood and make sure I'm reacting right. Like, that's hard to do too.
Yeah. And as you know, like I came to you guys, and you guys I can be around y'all all the time, but I was peopled out. Like I had just one of those weeks of where you were talking to friends, and I mean people that you love.
Yeah.
But when they're in I am naturally an introvert, and so it takes it out of me. And so I need time to reconnect with God, reconnect with self, reconnect with, you know, nature, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And just be like on my phone with my reality shows, with my games, with my podcast, and just get rejuvenated.
Yes.
And I need to not be talked to. It got so bad that I didn't even want anybody touching me, which is really weird for me. You know, I'm just like, what do you get away. And so but you were an extrovert. Do you ever get peopled out as well though?
No. It depends. You're like there are certain people that I'm like, okay, I've had enough of you, but it doesn't then bleed over to oh, I'm hanging out with this person, they start to get on my nerves, you know, or it's just okay, this is a little much now.
Yeah.
It's not that I need a break from all people then. It's okay, I need a break from you.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think this is so crazy too, because we talk about the difference, when we're coming back from one of my weddings or something like that, and Wesley's gone with me and he's helped me for the day. Wesley will be just so, don't talk to me, just let me have some peace and quiet. I just need time to reset.
Yeah.
And then I'll be
yeah, because you need to talk about it and process it, and
and this is what we talked about too in some of my psychology classes, the difference between an introvert and extrovert, because I do think our society tends to label extrovert as good and introvert as a bad thing. They're not. I think they're just two different things, and everybody has some to some level, you know. There are times when I do need for my own self to just be still and be by myself, even though I hate it. I know that I need that.
Yeah.
But the difference between an introvert and an extrovert is an extrovert needs more stimulation in order to be engaged, in order to be, you know, ready and excited about things, where an introvert is already at that level, and they need too much stimulation is then gonna overwhelm instead of engage them. So having that and it's also how you feel after you talk with people. So if you're an introvert or if you don't know like what you are, after you come away from like a group setting and you've talked to all these people, are you like, man, that was good, but I need a minute? Or are you like, man, that was so good and I'm energized now? It's just a difference between your energy and what you need, like stimulation wise. So
yeah, that's actually a really good test. Like, you don't need to take a big personality test or whatever. What you said is 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Talking about all of that, when I took the Myers-Briggs personality test, I actually tested as an E in whatever the letters were, and it was by 1% that I was considered an extrovert. Like, it was 51%. And I was like, but when you looked at the questions, it was learned behavior. You know, like, how do you act in this setting, and what do you do, like, when you see someone, you know, whatever that was. And you really looked back at what they were deciding was the extrovert. I was like, I learned that behavior. Like, I decided that that's who I was going to be in these groups.
What are you? Like, what did you test as?
Gosh, I would have to look it up. I think it is the ENFJ. Does that make sense? Yeah. No. I would have to look it up. Sorry, I have it somewhere.
Well, so I'm going to say this.
Do you believe in that test, though? Like, I thought it was very accurate, but since then I've heard it's not that great.
Well, okay, so as this, you know, like, when I was a psychology major, people talked about this. Like, I took a personality class. And
I'm going to see while you're talking if I can pull it up. Go ahead. Yeah.
There are certain tests that are good tools to understand, like, your personality. But unfortunately, like, the Myers-Briggs and, the Enneagram, those are not...
Yeah, that one's weird.
Yeah, well, while they, you know, the way that they're set up, and it goes back into like all like the details of like how you set up a test and how your participant answers and all that kind of thing. But the Myers-Briggs is not like an accurate, it does not give an accurate understanding of your personality, because like you can retake it and answer the same way and it'll give you something different. Yeah.
And it depends on like the same way.
Yeah. And it's not, the way the questions are, it's not very well done is what it is. But I am an ENFP. Remember what that means.
ENFP.
Yeah. And I know my Enneagram is a...
See, the Enneagram, it always went back and forth with me. Like, it never was like the same thing. And I was like, and I always had this wing or that wing that didn't make sense. So I don't know. Man, that makes me crazy about whatever Wesley is. We are exactly the same, except we have a different dash. Like, he is like dash something, and I'm a little different on the dash. Yeah.
Yes. So his Myers-Briggs, I think, is an INFJ. Yeah. I think that's his.
And I think I'm like an ENFJ-P maybe, or dash, I don't know. It gets crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are the same except for that. Is that not crazy?
I wonder if Mark is an ENFP and a 7.
I guarantee you, he probably doesn't have to even take the test. Doesn't even have to take the test. When you were kidding, we called you Mark Jr. Which is awful, but hilarious at the same time, because anything that was happening, you were just the same person.
The exact same person.
Except you have beautiful long blonde hair and are a beautiful lady, and he's a masculine dude. It's hilarious.
But it really is funny that I'm so alike him, and Wesley is so alike you.
It's weird.
So crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes for a great marriage, or at least a long one. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great one.
Yeah. My word.
Yeah. But so we've talked about genes and our personalities. So if you know of any personality test that we should take, yes, please link it. We'll do it. We'll talk about it. But
I love a personality test.
Yes. You know what? We might just find some anyway. But thank you so much for watching this episode. We are so excited to share all of our thoughts with you. So please like and subscribe. Check out our links if you'd like more content from us. But that's all for this day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.